Slovenia come to the crossroads. And I think that the content of today's business breakfast is really, really important. We are actually out of recession after several quarters, and this is actually the good sign. This is the result of some reforms, if we can call it, in the last period, but we have a lot of challenges in front of us as well. We in Amcham, together with the 260 members and together with our committees, together with our experts, we prepared the position paper you have on your table, on your seats. And actually this position paper is our suggestion to all the political parties who will compete somehow in the election and to all other stakeholders in Slovenia as our suggestion what should be our core pillars, our core principles on what we should build our future success.
You are business people, you know how important it is to be in a stable, predictable environment. Where stable and predictable has a broad meaning. It means that you know that the fiscal deficit and the government's finances are okay, market finances them, but you also have stability on tax policy, tax regime, fiscal code, the way you call it. And also you have a clear understanding what government wants to do, what areas, what investment, for what reason. But stability also includes financial stability. And in this regard, I think Slovenia made a very important step, a very thorough asset quality review and stress test, and I think a very determined action on the part of the government to recapitalize banks fully so that this uncertainty is taken out of the equation. And I think the market appreciated this a lot. The capacity to face up to the problem, have a proper analysis and act on it. And I think that is exactly what we would like to see in other areas, to continue this kind of approach.
Like a spiritual connection, you felt it too. That's why your body became.
So, Mr. Petrle, from your point of view, how do you see the recommendations? How will this influence Slovenia, business-wise, economically, maybe about the bank policies in their area? How do you see actually the changes in Slovenia?
I have expected these recommendations and they are perfectly in line with our reality. And I would say there is only one program which could save Slovenia to resolve our problems. So I welcome these recommendations.
Mm-hmm. What area in Slovenia do you think it will most affect? Do you think it would most affect the bank policies? Do you think it will be business-wise? We heard before a lot of questions addressed to Mr. Szekely. So what is your point of view? Which area will be most influenced?
I would be pleased if the political sector would be influenced by these recommendations because we need action, we need political determination, we need a coalition which will finally, after so many years, do something for the benefit of Slovenia. I think we have to truly introduce European principles, rule of law, principles of social market economy, and this will mean then also, as a consequence, less corruption and less weak corporate governance and so on.
The idea behind the European new framework is that there are important domestic anchors as well as European anchors. So we can have an excessive deficit procedure run out of Brussels, and we can sometimes have very tough messages on that. But it's much more important that you have a fiscal council in this country which tells to your government that this is the way to go, this is a responsible fiscal policy. I would also put here the major strengthening of banking supervision. I think the message in your the document, make sure that banks are banks. and behave like banks. And competition policy and competition office is also in this area. So proper institutions that can anchor your institutions.
So it's the most important that we decide, that we see problem and find a solution and find enough people in parliament, in government and also other people who are important to know these problems to support this decision. So I'm optimistic, but if we will just try to find new faces, try to speak about new coalition and not speaking about real problems, real reforms, we will never solve this problem.
Do you trust the Slovenian government? Do you think they will be able to come together to some good conclusions for our country, or are you maybe pessimistic about it? Because we all know June and July are very soon here going to be, so what are actually your predictions?
You know, I would like to be optimistic, but I have to admit I'm not. Following what's happening these days, all these newly established parties with not a clear program, which is really surprising me. I mean, they all count on their new faces. What about the content? We need the content. We need concrete actions. We don't have time. I disagree with those who are saying that we need time. No, we need actions. We have to work together, not one against other. So unfortunately, I'm doubtful, especially taking into account that obviously there will be many parties, even more I believe than now in the parliament. So it's going to be very difficult to form a coalition. And then let's hope not to face again new early elections due to difficulties with the coalition.
Just because a company is in trouble doesn't mean that the productive assets and the value of that company should be lost. Restructuring is actually, in many cases, an excellent opportunity to make the company, in the long run, even stronger. And we have seen many such cases, major companies emerging from restructuring stronger and growing. But it's not happening here yet. And the longer this is not solved, the more value you destroy, the more of your wealth you destroy.
How would you maybe comment the recommendations, all the areas it's affecting in Slovenia, the view, actually we know it's going to be very soon, so your comment all together?
So I would say that all the comments and the recommendations given by the European Commission we can only agree with, and I hope that really finally people will read it in politics and will know that there is action to be done, because that we know it's not enough. We should do different things, we should implement some of the recommendations, and even as our guest said, we should find better ways if we don't agree with. But we cannot just wait, because nobody else will do it for us, or they will, but it will be much harder. So I believe that it's really important that everybody is really alert that things should be done, and also that the business community as such should offer all the knowledge. And with Amcham we want to do that to any political leader. We really don't care who is there. We just want to see somebody who will try hand in hand with the business, do an action for a better Slovenia, for a better economic environment, and also as a consequence a better living environment.